Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Slash Film Daily. This is Slash Film Editor-in-Chief Peter Sciretta, and I am here today with
Stephen Weinschel from Collider.com.
And we're still here in Las Vegas at CinemaCon, the convention for movie exhibitors. We did a report earlier today from the Disney presentation. We just got out of the Warner Brothers presentation, and we're going to go over all the cool things we saw there, highlighting the next year and more of Warner Brothers movies. Yeah, we got to see a bunch of stuff, including Aquaman, Fantastic Beasts 2, Mowgli, Stars Born. We're going to talk about that. Let's start with The Stars Born.
Absolutely. So,
what is The Stars Born?
Well, for people that don't realize, Bradley Cooper, the actor you recognize from The Hangover and a million other things, this is his directorial debut. It's a remake of the film from the 70s with Chris Christopherson. Bradley Cooper plays the older rock star, and he recruits Lady Gaga, who is the person. They have a romantic relationship. They're making music together. So there's been a lot of talk about this because it's Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper. But it was, to me, it's the highlight of the footage we saw in terms of like a great looking trailer, an awardsy kind of movie, really just a good looking film for me. And for people that don't realize, they both sing live in the film, and Bradley Cooper's not a musician, but it has that feel of authenticity, and it feels like you're there on the road with them, and people, and like you're on the stage with like 60,000 people screaming. And,
yeah, I almost want to say it's like gritty, but it's not gritty, and it's not like nostalgic, like Almost Famous, but it almost has like this feel of like a 70s concert film.
Yes,
And Lady Gaga, I know I saw her on American Horror Story. I haven't seen her act in other things. I'm not sure if she has.
She's done other stuff, but this is the big one.
But she looks really good. I mean, like as an actress,
sure.
Like it looks like it's a special performance, and the music, it looks really good. This looks like it could be something special.
I mean, it's coming out in October, which means, for people that don't realize, October is like award season. It means most likely that the film is going to get like a TIFF, a Toronto Film Festival berth, or a Telluride berth, and that's when they'll bring, they'll continue platforming the film or having it in the festival circuit coming out in October. But, I mean, this is an example of a great-looking trailer, and a great-looking trailer getting everyone excited. But a great-looking trailer can only exist when the movie has the footage.
Yeah.
And
it's just like what comes through, I think, to me is the vulnerability of those performances that we see from both Bradley Cooper, who didn't want to sing up on stage live for this movie, and Lady Gaga, who obviously is a singer, but not an actress by trade. Or I guess now she is, but.
I can just say that regarding A Star is Born, a lot of you, I'm sure, are going to be curious about when can you watch it. I am sure Warner Brothers will have this online within 2 weeks. This is absolutely coming soon. It's a totally completed trailer. It looked great, and I think you guys will think the same. I know the audience wants to hear us talk about Aquaman. So
DC and Aquaman, they started out with this DC sizzle reel, kind of like, they showed like this, I don't know what you want to call it, it's almost an illustration of like, what they're calling the modern DC cinematic universe, which it zoomed out so fast I couldn't see all the characters there, but
basically it started with Aquaman, it went into Shazam, and then it went into Patty Jenkins talking about Wonder Woman 2. Let's touch on Wonder Woman 2 real fast. We just had Patty Jenkins in the preview of the footage. You saw Cheetah and Wonder Woman fighting. Like, it was all not like footage. It was story, like
animatics or concept art. Yeah,
it was like comic booky stuff. But
Jenkins confirmed that it's going to be set in the 80s, and she's going to be struggling with the temptations of her world and face extraordinary odds, is what she said.
Sure, I'm looking forward to the 80s fashion. But there's really nothing else besides like a 2019 release date.
Yeah,
it was very minor.
They didn't have anything.
Yeah.
They showed some Shazam.
Do we want to? Let's do Aquaman first.
Okay, Aquaman first. Okay,
right.
Fine. Aquaman. What do you want to say about it? They showed a trailer. It was an unfinished, very unfinished.
The first thing is James Wan. The cast was there. James Wan came out and basically said, "I don't want to show anything, but the studio made me," and it's because he's clearly been underwater. No pun intended. Trying to do all these VFX because it's a VFX heavy movie. A lot of the film takes place underwater. It's Aquaman. So the situation is that he showed a very rough trailerish sizzle type thing And some of the shots it looked final. And some of the shots were completely animatic and completely not ready.
It looked to me like it was a work in progress for what the teaser trailer we're going to eventually get, maybe at Comic-Con or whenever that hits, is going to be.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's early days, but some of the highlights from the trailer, the first stuff of Black Manta, which he looks just like right out of the comics. Yeah. Aquaman kicking some ass. Seeing Patrick Wilson as Aquaman's brother and them fighting in like a pit.
The underwater city of Atlantis looks huge.
Massive.
Very different than I thought it was going to look like.
Massive.
You know what? I was surprised. Like, there's so many different locations from around the globe. Like, they're on, like, the sand dune somewhere. They're, like... it's just, like... I just assumed that this was going to take place kind of like in 2 locations, like underwater.
Sure. Yeah. I'm trying to be very... I think it's reported that I did a thing on this, right?
I don't know.
Okay, so if it's not out there, so like I might have done a set visit on Aquaman, so I don't want to say what I know.
Yeah.
I can only base what I'm saying on what we saw downstairs. I'm trying to be very careful. But in the footage downstairs, there was them walking in a very large sand dune type thing.
Yeah.
There was not just underwater.
There's a bunch of different locations from around the world.
To quote Peter, a bunch of locations.
There, the whole thing climaxes in this war scene that looks like Braveheart style, but under the water with sea creatures and sea men and women riding sea creatures and vehicles that look like sea creatures. It looked epic.
Yeah, the thing is, listen, this is obviously a very heavy CGI movie, but unlike CGI where you see like a doomsday or these creatures that don't look real, this is more CGI trying to make believable things under the water. As you said, the sea creatures, look, who the fuck knows? But I believe in James Wan. The footage looked really cool. It looked massive in scope, and it just looked really cool. But ultimately, James Wan has made film after film that he's delivered the goods. And it looked really, really cool.
They showed some footage from Shazam or some making of footage.
Yeah.
I don't know. This looks like Jingle All the Way to me.
Oh, stop.
It might be that it's set during Christmas. It might be his outfit is kind of like that Rocket Man.
No.
I don't know.
Right.
The muscles look kind of like padded. It doesn't...
Sure.
I don't know.
I will just say that, and this, because I was able to tweet last week, I did a set visit literally last week on Shazam.
Mm-hmm.
And so...
Defend yourself.
So I am not allowed to say anything that I saw on that set.
Yeah.
But I am allowed to say what we saw in the footage downstairs. Would we agree? I'm being very careful how I position this. So the footage that we saw downstairs, we saw Shazam in a convenience store with a kid. We saw Shazam standing on set with a costume that looked like it lit up here. It was bright.
Yeah.
We saw...
You're pointing to your chest.
Yes. We saw him... We saw some of the comic book stuff. I want to be very careful what I say. Yeah. We saw some of the comic book stuff, and...
I don't think people care enough about Shazam for you to describe...
Yeah, I got to be very... But, I'm under embargo. I have to be very careful.
What's your opinion of it?
I'm saying to you, based on the footage, purely on the stuff we saw downstairs. Yeah. There's not enough of what we saw downstairs to have an accurate opinion.
Do you see where I'm coming for a Jingle All the Way?
Yeah, I do. I want to say so much more. I will say that I disagree with your assessment on Jingle All the Way, but I understand because of how little you saw downstairs why you could be nervous. I am much more confident.
Yeah.
And that's all I can say.
Yeah. And they were pitching as, big but with superheroes, which is the concept.
Oh, no, and we also saw, that's true. They
showed him on
the keyboard doing the chopsticks from Big.
Yeah, in the store, yeah.
Yeah, and Zachary Levi looks awesome in the part. But that's all they showed from DC. It was just those 3 things. No mention of Batman, no mention of anything else.
Yeah. We need to move on. Let's move on to It Chapter 2.
Sure.
They haven't gone into production on this yet, so we don't, we didn't get to see any footage, but they did like an interview kind of thing, promising that it's going to be the same humor, the same
scarier
horror. It's going to be scarier, more intense.
Also, they confirmed it goes into production this summer, comes out in September of 2019. Andy, the director, said that you're going to need adult diapers.
Yeah.
So, there you go on that. But there was, nothing. And also they talked about the Conjuring universe, Conjuring franchise,
the Nun
cinematic
and
universe.
all that stuff.
So they showed footage from the Nun and talked about the success of the Conjuring movies and how James Wan talked about how when they made the Conjuring, James and Lorraine had all these stories, and so it's there's plenty more to tell.
Yeah. I don't think people care about that.
Let's move on.
Let's move on to something that no one has seen, and that is Mowgli.
Oh, yeah.
The Andy Serkis Jungle Book movie. When Jon Favreau was making the Jungle Book movie, Andy Serkis was making his own performance captured Jungle Book movie. It's been a year or two since then.
It's been a while, but they had to wait a while
Yeah.
to make sure that the Disney Jungle Book movie had been sort of like, people forgot about it
And
a
it's
little.
funny, in this trailer that we got to see, this work in progress trailer.
I think that was the trailer.
Or was it the trailer?
Yeah, I think that was just the first trailer.
They're pitching it as the darkest, the darkest retelling of this masterpiece. They're like trying to differentiate this from Disney's Jungle Book.
And it is definitely different.
It is different, but it doesn't look that dark to me.
Oh, I thought it looked much darker, and also it looked like creepier, and it looks a
little creepier.
It did not look like the Disneyized version of the Jungle Book.
Well, the Disneyized version of the Jungle Book, the live-action one with Jon Favreau, had animals that looked live-action, but they were kind of caricatured animals. Jon Favreau is doing Lion King, which we talked about in the Disney thing, which is photorealistic animals. That's what this looked like.
Yes.
It looks like photorealistic, kind of creepy animals.
Sure. Also, in this one, you have Christian Bale, Benedict Cumberbatch, Cate Blanchett. You have all these actors playing motion capture creatures. And ultimately, I saw Breathe, or Breath. It's Breath. Andy Serkis' movie. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
He shot this before Breath, but this has been in post-production forever. I thought it looked really dark and creepy, and it looked way different, and ultimately that's what it has to be. It's going to be interesting, though, because...
It's weird because they have some of the same scenes that we see. I mean, obviously, it's based on the same property.
Sure.
But you see the elephant with the whatever, and the kid. It's just
the only thing I'm nervous about, and
it seems too similar to me. It still seems too similar.
That's not the issue for me. The issue for me is that I thought it looked really cool, but who is the movie for? Because it looks like it could be really dark for kids, and then do adults want to go see a movie that stars a kid?
Yeah.
But
I also don't think it looks dark enough for adults to be like, oh, this is a cool, dark retelling of this thing.
I'm a big fan of Andy Serkis.
Me too.
I'm going to see this first day because I'm a big fan of his work.
Yeah.
But moving on, I thought the trailer looked interesting and cool, and it's going to obviously be online within the next week or two.
We only have one last film to talk about, and that's Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grindelwald.
This is the newer trailer that hasn't been released yet.
Yeah, they're really playing up Hogwarts, Dumbledore, magic, and Johnny Depp's creepy character who looks like an albino Johnny Depp, and the trailer ends with the introduction of Nicholas Flamel. Is that how you pronounce it? Flamel?
I think so. Yes.
What do you think?
This is one of those that I'm seeing on opening day. There's no question. I thought it was really cool to see Dumbledore teaching back at Hogwarts when he was much younger, Jude Law.
Yeah.
There's no way all of us aren't going. So you know what I mean? It's for me, it's I want to learn, I want to see a little bit, but I don't want to see too much. Because we're all going to this.
Yeah.
And this is the second of supposedly what's going to be a 5-film franchise.
Yeah. Well, the thing about Fantastic Beasts for me is I didn't love the characters in it. I love the world. I love the Wizarding World. It seems like they are doing a pivot here. They're going more towards Hogwarts and stuff that we know, and not traveling the world as much as we thought they were going to do. And you know what? To me, that's a good thing. It gets me excited. I'm going to be there opening night or at the press screening.
It's so interesting because you bring up an excellent point. I also didn't love the characters as much as I love the world. And you wonder, the first movie sets up the thing, everyone went, but with the second movie doing the Hogwarts thing and going back to places we know, it's almost like it's hooking all of us who were lukewarm on some of the characters, making these characters that you're lukewarm about be put in familiar places where you might care about them more. And then all of a sudden, you're going to be with them in movie 3, 4, and 5.
For sure.
It's just... Anyway, look, I thought the Warner Brothers panel was solid. Oh, and
Will Arnett hosted, and he was hilarious, and they brought in all the stars from all the movies, but reiterating jokes and stuff is not going to
Sure, there's actually one movie I want to... Has the trailer for Tag been released?
Yeah, there's been a ton of... There's been a couple, I think.
Yeah, that's how little I know. I thought the trailer today for that looked like...
They showed a scene from that, actually. They showed, this kind of slow-motion scene that you see in the trailer of Jeremy Renner's character kind of avoiding getting tagged, and it's almost like Sherlock Holmes-style brilliance of his mastery of the game of tag.
Sure, it also moves in, slow motion. He's like a secret... It's like Jeremy Renner from a Bourne movie with meets Ethan Hunt. It's just it was very funny.
The crowd went crazy here. I liked the trailer, but I don't know. I didn't love the stuff I saw today. I was kind of
Oh, I'm actually, this is my first time seeing I laughed a lot and I love the cast. Yeah. So I'm totally in. Okay,
so that does it for this this edition. Steve, where can we find more of your work online?
You might find me on Collider, and
you can find me at slashfilm.com and at slashfilm on Twitter.
Collider, Frosty, and all that stuff. We're going to be here for the next few days. Plenty more stuff. Thanks for watching, and have a fantastic night.